I mentioned earlier, folks, that there's a website, campusreform.com. They're out there surveying students, and they're telling them the truth about things. This is the demographic that voted for Obama. And they're doing great work out there. What they did, they went to a campus, in this case, the University of Northern Colorado, and they started asking questions of the students while showing them video of Obama lying about being able to keep your plan, if you like it, being able to keep your doctor, if you like it, and having your premium reduced $2,500. They're playing these things. Now they know that it's not true. You can't. Everybody knows this now. So the campus reform people, it's priceless. The looks on these young students' faces as they learn that they were deceived. And it really, if I may say so, the instances of young, single, 20-year-old women, when they learn that dear leader was deceiving them, when they're presented with the facts, they're just shocked. Students call President Obama's handling of scandals and Obamacare rollout deceitful and incompetent. President Obama's health care promises were deceitful, according to students. Explanation of glitches, deceitful and incompetent. President acting like a kid would act. In an interview with Campus Reform on Wednesday, students expressed doubts that Obama has been blind to scandals like this. See, that's another thing that's happening. They're now thinking, okay, what else did he know about that he lied to us about? There's a reason his approval numbers are coming down. Here's this from the Washington Post. I mean, they're scratching their heads over there at this. Headline, Obama's likability succumbs to political gravity. It's by Sean Sullivan. Here's how it begins. Now it's personal. Gone are the days when President Obama could count on the public holding him in high personal regard, even if they didn't like the job he was doing. Americans hold a more negative personal view of Obama for the first time in an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. Just 41% say they have a positive view of Obama. 45% say they view him negatively. The numbers mark a notable shift. They also cite a Washington Post ABC poll that shows a decline in Obama's personal popularity, and they're nervous about it at the Washington Post. They're scratching their heads. They can't figure it out, really. They say the numbers mark a notable shift. For most of his presidency, Obama's personal popularity has outpaced his job approval rating. The public's attitude's generally been akin to, well, he may not be doing a great job, but I still like the guy. This is what gave birth to the Limbaugh theorem. People say, I don't like the direction the country's going, and I don't like his policies. But boy, is the guy doing a great job. How in the world can this be? And, of course, there's a racial component to it. Can't take that out of the equation. It's always going to be there. But the other factor is Obama was never seen as governing. He was never really seen as responsible or accountable, because every day that he was seen, he was out on the campaign trail campaigning against all this stuff that he was actually making happen. My theory, the Limbaugh theorem, is that Obama positioned himself as an outsider, not attached to anything that's happening. The things that he has made happen, his policies, he positions himself as opposed to and against them. And he makes it look like he's fighting for everybody else to overcome all these things that he has done. He goes out and fights against the very policies he's enacted. And it creates the illusion with a compliant media that somebody else is doing that stuff. And he's out there and he's mad about it. He's mad that we haven't created jobs sooner than we have. He's mad that we're not out of the recession. And he's mad about all this stuff. And people, oh, this guy's out there fighting for me. That's one of the reasons why the constant campaign is to create the optics that he's not governing. Doesn't appear to be governing. So he doesn't appear to be part of Washington. He appears to have this mysterious powerful bunch of forces that are opposing him, the Republicans. And they're stopping him from creating jobs. They're stopping him from giving people proper health care. They're stopping him from making their home values go up. And he's constantly out there fighting them. And he does it by constantly campaigning and never seem to be governing. But now all that's fading away because it is his, and he's being proven now to have lied. Now Obama is seen as governing, and now the press is noticing, and now the president's approval numbers are plummeting. If this kind of media honesty had been going on the past 5 years, I'm telling you today, he would not have been reelected. If when Obama in 2010, remember the Tea Party came to life because of all the debt and because of Obamacare, if the media had told the truth then, what they knew then and know now, that you weren't going to be able to keep your doctor. Can you imagine? Obama goes out and makes one of these appearances at a college campus, and he says over and if you like your doctor, you're going to be keeping. And if you like your plan, nobody can take that away. And if the press said the president today lied to college students because, by definition, you won't be able to keep your plan. Can you imagine the different place we would be today? But the Limbaugh theorem explains why none of that honesty happened. It was because advancing the leftist agenda, no matter how, is all that mattered. And they've done it. Now we've got Obamacare. And now people are learning after the fact that Obama lied and was deceitful and is incompetent. People had voted for him, young people, people all across the spectrum. Now the media is reporting it. So the Limbaugh theorem is being borne out. But it really is frustrating because all of this could have been known by the mass population 3 years ago. It could have been known long ago. We need not have had to go through all of this. We need not be where we are, but we are. Says here in the Washington Post, Obama's personal popularity has carried him through tough times and was no doubt an asset for him in the 2012 election. While things may turn around for the president, the current trend does not look good for him. There doesn't appear to be any one overarching reason or policy or political decision to explain the drop in Obama's popularity, say the pollsters at NBC and the Wall Street Journal. More likely, it's a combination of time and recent political crises like Syria, NSA surveillance, glitches with the healthcare law. They really think at the Washington Post there isn't a singular explanation for this. They really think it's just a culmination of things. It's so unfortunate. The president may not be able to ever recover from this, no matter how hard we try to help him. I think the exposure of his strategy for avoiding responsibility by the Limbaugh theorem has clearly been a factor because it's being borne out here. But you people in the media, let me help you out. During the government shutdown, when the mall cannot be used by anybody and Obama opens it up for an illegal alien rally for amnesty, you don't understand how that literally frosts people all over this country. You have no idea, do you? You have no idea how big this lie is. You get to keep your plan. You have no idea the impact of people with this stupid rollout of Obamacare. You have no idea how important health care is to people, and now they find out that the people they trusted to be in charge of it have no clue what they're doing. There are people scared to death, and they are in droves each and every day, coupled with people who are mad as they can be about all of this. And you sit there still inside the Beltway and there's not one thing that we can figure out to explain why Obama's likability is falling. Now, I bet you can't, because you've worked so hard to keep it up. You're wondering why all of a sudden are people not paying attention to you. It's because they can see, finally, the truth. I really think the exposure of the Limbaugh theorem has been sort of like pulling the curtain back on The Wizard of Oz.